Welcome into the Cowboys Report. We have a bunch of new subscribers coming in from our NFL draft coverage. Happy to have you guys here. We don't just do NFL draft stuff, by the way, or big events. We do videos each and every single day. So make sure you guys are subscribed. When you first subbed, YouTube defaults you to personalized, not all. So go click that bell icon again and change it from personalized to all. That way, every time there's a new Cowboys Report video, you get an alert sent right to your phone. Hit that Noti Gang button and join the Noti Gang here at the Cowboys Report. As we break down some news and rumors, mostly coming out of the Home Run Derby. Leighton Vander Esch won again. I'm sure Micah's in shambles over that one. And speaking of Micah, he is not at voluntary workouts right now as he works to add a few extra pounds of muscle, which sent everybody into a tizzy because he's playing full-time defensive end, which... yeah, of course we'll break it down. First, let's actually show you guys what Micah had to say. It's hard battling 300-pound guys at 245 every week. So I'm just trying to put on 5 pounds of muscle, eating right and just living right. Now, the issue was when the initial tweets got sent out, it didn't mention the weight gain. It was just he's adding weight to play defensive end full time. Here's what Micah tweeted out. People here bulk and think I'm going to go from 246 to 270. If you've seen any of my videos, I'm still very slim and I'm putting on good weight. I'm standing at 252 currently. I will not surpass 255 at any time in my career. This is just me putting on more muscle to carry the load. The meltdown over this on social media, the treating of it as a position change for Micah Parsons was wild to me. Micah Parsons is a pass rusher. That is what he has done for the Dallas Cowboys since they made that switch in his rookie year. Micah spent about 80% of his snaps along the defensive line at defensive end on the outside this year. There were still some outside linebacker reps, and I would bet, I would bet all of my money, I am very confident on this, 100% lock, and just, I know where it's coming from, that it's similar this year. They can still move Micah Parsons around, but his best thing he does that impacts the game the biggest fashion is as a pass rusher. So all of big media treating this as position change for Micah just weren't paying attention last year. He is an edge rusher. He's done that already. And that's not to say some rotation, some moving around to let him blitz from off-ball linebacker against the guard. That stuff will still happen on third downs. It's just the acknowledgement of, yeah, he's a pass rusher now. Adding 5 to 7 pounds, give or take there. He's listed at 246. He says he's at 252 right now. I bet he comes in somewhere similar there. That's the right move for Micah because he did start to wear down a little bit. Now, Micah plays a bigger snap percentage than most pass rushers. I mean, he's up there with total snap counts alongside anybody, and it's damned impressive. So adding some muscle, and none of this, I added 13 pounds of muscle crap. It's not how it works. Getting 5 is a really good number for an NFL player. Adding that type of weight is a good thing. It should not impact his speed significantly, and we should continue to see awesome Micah Parsons. His numbers over his first 2 years are freaking insane. Now, the pressure rate dipped a little bit. 18.4% is still one of the best in the NFL. He is one of the best pass rushers, one of the best defensive players. If you're starting a team dynasty-wise around a defensive player, Micah or Bosa should probably be one of your first 2 picks. So with that in mind, knowing 13's been the good over-under number in his career, how many sacks for Micah Parsons this season? Sound off in the comment section at the pinned comment of today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and predict how many sacks for Micah this season. Let's talk CeeDee Lamb extension now as, again, part of the Reliant Home Run Derby. Vander Esch won, and I know Micah was mad about that because he's a very competitive person in a good way. CeeDee Lamb was there, spoke about his desire to remain a Cowboy long-term. Other players talked to, we will actually get to Dak Prescott, Brandon Cook's conversation on tomorrow's show, but there's already enough in this one. CeeDee Lamb had this to say, quote, "I'm very excited. Dallas is somewhere I've always wanted to be. I don't see myself really wearing any other jersey. I don't really want to get too much into the detail on that, but I'm definitely excited for the future." CeeDee Lamb took the leap. And this is the exact type of production over a 3-year career you want to see out of a young player. Now, ideally, they just had the first 2022 year in 2020, but not everyone's Justin Jefferson, etc. Consistent, steady growth. He truly emerged as a legitimate wide receiver one this past season, and that makes it very easy to figure out the numbers when it comes to getting the CeeDee Lamb extension done, which I would like to get done. I think the Cowboys want to get done too, in large part because, well, they haven't spent to the minimum the past couple years, and a CeeDee Lamb extension would help them accomplish that. Again, they've been fairly cheap. So how much would you pay CeeDee Lamb per year? We'll show you the numbers here in a second, but I want you guys to sound off in the comment section. How much would you give CeeDee Lamb per year for the Dallas Cowboys? I think the players to monitor here among the highest paid wide receivers. The Tyreek Hill deal is kind of fake in its final year. It adds to some inflated numbers. The players to watch, young wide receiver ones, right? Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown. 3 of the 4 of those guys share the same agent, including A.J. Brown. It's the same agent for CeeDee Lamb. So the numbers have been last guy gets a little bit more. So for Dallas, you have to start, if you're going to do this negotiation properly, at the A.J. Brown number. Got to pay him more. Salary cap goes up. You're probably looking at minimum 4 years, $26 million per year on average. That's the baseline. CeeDee Lamb will be a $100 million player because he's earned that money. I am happy to give CeeDee Lamb 4 years, $26 million, a bunch of it guaranteed, because he's awesome at football. He was your only good wide receiver last year. That's why you traded for Brandon Cooks and why your fingers are crossed very hard for Michael Gallup and Jalen Tolbert this upcoming year. Now, if you want to go 5 years, want to go more years, in general, every year you add to a contract, you should add about $2 million per year. So keep that number in mind if you haven't answered yet the question of how much to pay Lamb per year. Let's move to his draft classmate. That is Trevon Diggs. He's also due for a new deal. I would wonder if, as we'll get into, his deal is a little bit more complicated to get done. I'll explain why. But first, of the Cowboys' 2 young dynamic playmakers at wide receiver and cornerback, who ends up getting paid first? CD for CeeDee Lamb or TD for Trevon Diggs? Go ahead and vote for us in the comments section. Here's what Diggs had to say. Hopefully something gets figured out. I love Dallas. I love being here. So I don't know. We'll see. That's not quite as locked in as the CeeDee Lamb conversation. And I do think it's because there might be some difference in a more complicated contract to negotiate. Trevon Diggs' interception numbers dipped last year. But the completion percentage went up, but the yards and touchdowns went down. And teams basically stopped throwing at Diggs, and maybe we'd have felt better. He had some drops that really hurt. It's not normally we don't talk about drops for a cornerback. We do talk about drops for Diggs because he has the receiver-esque hands there. I thought he was still really good last year, a bit more steady, more consistent. Teams stopped throwing his way, and figuring out the numbers could be a little bit awkward because Jair Alexander right now is the highest paid corner at $21 million per year. And Denzel Ward makes $20 million. Marshall Lattimore make $19. I would wonder if Diggs and Diggs' camp are going to start at that figure. And if the Cowboys camp is more like, yeah, but look at what J.C. Jackson got from the Chargers in free agency. You have a similar high-end ball skills, a bit boom or bust at times mentality, which is, we're fine with it, of course. But we want to pay you more like J.C. Jackson. That's upwards of $4 million difference right there. That could be a little bit trickier for the Cowboys. Now, Diggs' deal should be a bigger priority if you want to get it done because he's not under contract next year. You have the franchise tag if you need to go that route. You also might have it for Terrence Steele. And I would wonder if the Cowboys would choose to just keep that franchise tag for Diggs and then figure out something with Steele. I do think the CeeDee Lamb deal is going to get done. The Cowboys historically like to get stuff done around training camp. That gets them some buzz, some attention. That's when everyone's together to negotiate things a little bit easier. So I would put the over-under for a Lamb deal maybe 2 weeks into camp. I might take the under on that one. I think with what the Cowboys saw from Lamb, that is a deal I am very confident will get done. Trevon Diggs, yeah, we'll wait and see. I hope it gets done because I like him a lot. But I'm a little bit cautious on that front. As for other players like Dak Prescott, well, tune in tomorrow.